The Kansas City, LA little rivalry, this is going to be good, man, for years to come. Does it feel a little Manning Brady-ish?
Yeah, in division, the year's 2050. Who's got more Super Bowl rings, Mahomes or Herbert? I got some good news for you.
Yeah, we'll be dead.
Nobody's going to be pulling this tape. I hope we're not dead. Are we dead?
I don't know. It's the long
We'll be like 60, 65.
Yeah, I played in the NFL. Look it up.
Oh.
Anyways.
We will remember you fondly, my friend.
No, it's just, I don't want to overreact to the window closing thing, but Tom Brady hit on all his opportunities, and that's not an indictment on Patrick, because I think Patrick has, as Geoff outlined, some real issues at receiver. The defense isn't great. All the complimentary things that were there for Tom Brady. So we're not even comparing the two players. But what I am saying from a standpoint of stacking rings, Brady got his early. He got him when he could. And the Chiefs, they could have 3 or 4 right now. A lot of teams throughout history have said that, ended up with 1 ring. I hope that's not the case with Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, you can see kind of now that this little team, the window might be a little bit closer to being closed than it was. I love me some Chargers. That's my side team, of course. And I also bet the Chargers.
Same.
Yeah, I mean.
Are you guys at all concerned? 4 turnovers to 0, and you only win the ball game by 6 points?
Well, I think they create those turnovers. I think that they have a way of creating an impatient Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he can be impatient anyways, but some of these throws he makes are just like, fuck it. Like, they're like, fuck it, because either no one's open or I've had to play inchworm the whole game. If you can make Kansas City, convert 30 first downs to score 30 points in a game, like, that's not bad, dude. I don't know, Geoff. You know this team as well as anybody, Kansas City, with Mitch playing there and with the way you've kind of broken them down in the past. Like, on the offensive side of the ball, is this blueprint easily duplicated? Can everybody just play like, hey, too high shell and just like keep everything in front of you? I mean, it sounds simple, but the Chargers seem to have a little bit of a number on them.
That's what teams started doing last year, right? Playing too high, forcing the Chiefs to run the football. And in this game, the Chiefs actually ran the football pretty well. It's the best they'd run the ball all season. And they committed to run the ball more than they had in previous games, even with the Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumble. But it's kind of simple, right? They've had 11 possessions the last 2 games. They've turned it over in 5 of the 11 possessions, including the last possession of the Ravens game, and then 4 times this week. And they ended the last possession of this game with a Hail Mary, it's so funny, man. Both receivers got tackled. Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce on the Hail Mary, but I'm kind of with like the no calling of anything on the Hail Mary, because you call anytime you want.
It's a shit show. Tackled. It's a total shit show.
They're literally tackled. And so here's my thing with the Chiefs. And first of all, credit the Chargers. The Chargers have won 2 games this year. They haven't won the past, right? At Washington in this game that they found multiple ways to lose, right? Touchdown called back. They decided to go for it on 4th and 4, which is the right call because their kicker can't make a kick.
Right.
False start, 4th and 9, convert anyways, right?
Yes.
Like they made a bunch of plays in this game they hadn't done in the past. But here's my thing with the Chiefs is their margin for error now is much smaller. It used to be, okay, we're playing kind of shitty. Mahomes just save us, and we'll get a big sack. We'll force a turnover. They can't rush the passer anymore, right? Frank Clark is the worst contract maybe in all of pro sports. He's not playing, and when he does play, he's not very good. The guys they've tried to draft and develop and sign in free agency have not panned out. Chris Jones is still good, but he's the only one, right? They're playing with defensive end now, too.
Yeah,
so
which I like that sparingly. I mean, maybe they're trying to major in that, and that kind of throws the balance. They're just trying
to. They feel like they have a better depth inside than outside, and so trying to find a way to get him an opportunity to rush from the edge, basically, because they don't have anyone else.
Yeah,
they have no one else they trust. But the Ravens took advantage of that and just optioned him every single play, which is not what he's good at. So nonetheless. They're young at linebacker. Their secondary is not bad though, but the defense played much better this week. But offensively, look, they have 5 new offensive linemen. I like their offensive linemen, right? Yeah. But their 2 tackles are downgraded from Eric Fisher and my brother. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And then the young guys inside, Joe Tooney's not young, but Creed and Trey, they're young, but they're playing well. But it might take some time for all 5 guys to kind of work together. They're not playing bad, by the way. They're just maybe not what hasn't been expected to be.
I think eventually the left tackle's an upgrade. Eventually,
I'm not sold on Brown in that offense. It's just not what he does best. But we'll see as the season goes on if he gets more comfortable in there. And another thing, and Tony Romo talked about this a lot on the telecast, is they've never really had a number 2 wide receiver threat. They've had Sammy Watkins when healthy.
How
when
about
he was healthy,
they miss Sammy Watkins so much? A healthy Sammy Watkins.
When he was healthy, he helped them win the Super Bowl, right? He was an extra option for them. They don't have that right now.
Yeah.
So teams are doubling Kelsey, they're doubling Hill, and then they're just saying, hey, okay, Byron Pringle, McCole Hardman, DeMarcus Robinson, go beat us. And they just can't do it. And so they try to get Juju this year, right? They try to get other guys. Everyone said no to them. They should have signed Melvin Ingram as well, but that didn't happen. I think he visited, but he went to Pittsburgh, obviously.
Oh, that could have been great for them, stealing a guy in division like that.
It never happened. And so the margin for error is just smaller. But saying all that, they lost a game on a fumble that if they just don't fumble, they kick a field goal and win.
Yeah.
And they lost the game with 4 turnovers, and it took a touchdown with 7 seconds left to win the game. Like they're close to being good again.
No question. They're on the edge of being the Chiefs, but I also don't feel like that same like take it to the bank dominance exists this year. And I think like one of the hardest things about when your window's wide open, I'm not saying the window's shut. I'm just saying they had this like, hey, you're the favorite window, like unquestionably. I feel like that period's ending a little bit. I'm not overreacting. I'm just calling it what it is. Like you talked about the offensive line. There were fixtures there that are gone. The pass rush is depleted. So even if you try to make a late run like they've made in the past and get good in December and January, if you can't rush the passer, I worry about you. So I'm not saying Mahomes' window's closed. Mahomes' window is going to be open for 15 years.
Yeah.
But this particular team, I feel like, there's a little bit of a, hey, if we win, it's going to be a lot more interesting than it's been in the past.
Yeah, and look, we saw a little bit of that last year, right? Because as we went gambling, they didn't cover. They haven't covered like a game.
All these, they're one-score games. They're one-score games.
And last year we attributed to the fact of like they just got bored, right? They're up 30-10 in a game and they win 33-27. It's like we just kind of got bored. But maybe that was a kind of a inkling of like maybe we're just not as good as we used to be at finishing games, and they obviously have not been so far this season. But the Chiefs are going to do a good job now of just restocking talent, right? Yeah. Travis Kelce's getting a little older. Tyreek Hill's getting a little older. Can you find guys that you can draft and develop? Can you find the right free agents? But by all means, I don't think the season's over for them.
No.
There are strong teams in the AFC. Buffalo looks really good again. Cleveland, obviously, they just beat. So there's teams that they have to worry about. Chargers and Raiders. The Raiders are 3-0. I'm still not quite sure about the Raiders.
I'm not sure about the Raiders, but I had some nice things to say about them earlier in the pod. I'm not saying that the Chiefs are down. I'm just saying that it's not going to be as effortless as they've made it look in the past. And because of a lot of the issues that have nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes, although they manifest in him saying fuck it and throwing the ball in the air a couple times a game because he's frustrated. And those do count in the turnover, column. And here was the thing for me about the Chargers, man, and I'm biased. Like, first, they overcame themselves. You talked about that, the 4th and 4. You're like, not again. The 4th and 9. There was another illegal shift on a touchdown that got called back, I believe.
Yes.
But the balls on that coach, Brandon Staley. I mean, like, Randy Marsh. He's got wheelbarrow balls right now because I think he came into the game and was like, hey, we're not just going to try to beat these guys. We're going to try to show them we're absolutely not afraid of them. Like right down to throwing the fade with 30 seconds left and saying fuck it. I'm not worried about leaving them too much time. Like we're gonna score and win and play defense. And I feel like if you're the Chiefs, seeing that in division, you're like, oh shit, we got to see them again, and they're really not afraid of us. Like that's a nice statement to make your first time playing the top dogs in division.
It definitely is. But I like the aggressive nature because when you play Kansas City, you have to score points, and you have to score points all the time.
Yep.
And we set up for field goals, which Cleveland hasn't done yet, what Baltimore hasn't done yet, what Chargers haven't done yet, you're going to lose the game.
Yeah.
And look, the Chiefs have also played the Browns, the Ravens, and Chargers, 3 playoff teams, right? They get the Eagles now, then they get the Bills. It'll be a good game. That's at home. Then Washington, Tennessee, Giants. So, I mean, they have a couple games here. Then look, they got the Packers. Like they have a tough schedule because they're the number 1 team, and that crossover game is pretty good.